Lacey, I'll tell you what, I think what I really want to focus on today is like every single one of these varieties out here, every single tree in this row, it's a different variety of fruit. And here we are, late September, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, what are we looking for in late September? You know, we're...
Mostly just plums, interspecific plums, pluots, things like that.
Yeah.
That's 99% of what we have. A lot of these, we'll have fruit for the next several weeks.
Yeah.
So it's the end of September, we'll have stuff through October.
I think what I'd like to do right now is to just kind of walk down and just taste stuff like, let's sample everything. And see, you know, like if we hit anything that actually makes us go, wow.
Right. What about this one?
Okay, let's take a look at that one.
This one's a little more ripe. I think this one might be sweeter. Try this one.
Okay, let's try this one. Okay. Wow, interesting flavor. Kind of, you can really taste the apricot influence in this one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really sweet.
Yeah, very sweet, right. What do you think this is brixing out at?
Oh, at least 27, I think.
I think you're right.
No, and it was probably ripe a few weeks ago. It doesn't have very much acid in it either. That probably makes it taste a lot sweeter.
You're so right. It's a sub-acid. I don't taste...
Almost. I'm sure 2 weeks ago it had pretty medium acid and it balanced it out better.
You think the acid was in the skin or in the flesh?
Probably mostly in the skin, a little in the flesh, but it always breaks down.
Yeah.
Over time.
Yeah. Well, that's good. All right, let's try something else. Look, next tree over.
Next tree?
Yeah, here we go.
This one seems about the same ripeness. So it'll be...
And so there's a definite difference in the parent plants of this variety and this variety because you can see the character of that tree right there. And then when you look at this one right here, leaf structure is different. You know, the growth habit is different. I mean, there's so many differences about it.
The bugs like this one less.
But look at that. The flesh color is almost identical.
This one's much more yellow.
Yeah, maybe so.
Much more yellow.
I don't get the as strong of the apricot influence in this one.
No,
as
this one's much more plum flavor.
Yeah, this is much more on the plum side, right?
But it's still pretty tropical.
Yeah, it is really tropical. That's a good point. That's an excellent point. You bet.
That one is good. That one was a commercial one a couple weeks ago.
So when they have a yellow flag on them, that suggests that they're commercial. So here's a variety that actually looks completely different than everything else we've looked at so far.
It's much more of a more typical plum look.
It is definitely more typical plum look, absolutely. And boy, this set is also pretty heavy as well.
Yes, that's always a good thing, I think. Not quite ripe.
So my impression of this is that I would say even a week it's not going to be, you know, that impressive to me.
For you, maybe not, but if it sweetens up a little bit in that week, it would definitely be something we'd show to our commercial growers.
So is that why this one now has the yellow flag on it?
Yeah, those are from last year.
Okay.
So last year we looked at this tree and people liked it, and it's just kind of a heads up for us that, you know, it has done well.
Wow, that's a pretty heavy set, isn't it?
Yeah, and they're pretty large.
Yeah, they are big. And you don't do any thinning out here, right?
We do some thinning, but we're usually pretty late when we thin ours. So
yeah.
What we can do here, somebody can obviously do better with better time
in
their own field.
But who would want bigger size? I mean,
who would want bigger fruit? I don't know.
I don't know. Look at that. This is
pretty soft, though.
That's enormous. It is on the soft side. You know what? It has that fruit punch flavor. You know, kind of like that, kind of like Flavor Finale, but without the acid. Definitely pretty, isn't it? Wow. That's good. And I see, of course,
got many strings on it.
So it looks like some people really like this one a lot.
It's done well several consecutive years, yes.
Excellent. Yes. Maybe mid to late.
Probably mid-September.
And maybe the acidity was just a bit higher then. I don't know if I would have liked it as much then.
Probably not.
No, you're probably not.
Probably not, Ed.
Right. But right now, I think it's absolutely cool. It's a good variety. So this is one we may see in the grocery store. Who knows?
You should, because I know this one has been sold and they are growing it for grocery stores.
Perfect. Great. It'd be neat if sometime in the future we could associate a name with the varieties we're talking about. Whoa! That's badass. Look at that. I mean, this gets a nod just for looks, right? Man, oh man, that one gets a nod for looks. I would eat this and like it despite the fact that it didn't taste good. Giant, flavorless piece of fruit.
I was about to taste it. I'm like,
save yourself. One of the things that people love about Splash is that great color in the landscape. You know, it's got those same attributes. So obviously, you know, in the Zaiger gene pool, you know, this is something that probably expresses itself from time to time.
oh yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool. That's absolutely so cool. So here we go. The next tree, boy, oh boy, what's the first thing I see on this one? Look at that upright character. I mean, this tree is almost columnar, right? And that's not pruning, right?
No, that's just its growth pattern.
Here we go.
Here we go. Huh?
Oh, this
just
really
right.
isn't ready.
It's really not ready? This is kind of this one I got soft.
But oh my gosh.
It's different. Yeah, it's very different. It's fuzzy.
Yeah, it does. It's so is this a Pecotum?
It's you could call it that. I'm sure it has a lot of apricot in it, but it also does have a little bit of cherry in it. Just a, you know, not enough to like show, but it does have some cherry in it somewhere.
So are you looking at this then as more in the Pluerry column, or is this just going to be an interspecific until?
It's just going to be an interspecific until somebody wants to commercialize it and advertise it as something unique.
Right, and then you would look
Very
at
unique.
whatever the parentage makeup is and then kind of decide. Yeah, especially when you go into patent it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. That's very cool. This does look pretty interesting.
Yeah. It's different.
It is different.
And it looks different enough that it's got a really nice pink on the outside of it.
Yeah, it does. And look at, boy, there's a lot of fruit up
It
in
is
the
a lot.
top of the tree there.
Obviously, this has been picked.
Right, exactly. Yeah, people have been through here, you can
Yes.
tell, the migrations. But I mean, I'm really kind of keyed into that, you know, that fuzz a little bit, just a little bit. You know, and so, you know, when your tongue kind of hits it, you kind of go, whoa. I'll tell you what, okay, so critical, flavor's not quite there for me.
No, it's not.
You know, but I agree with you for color and everything.
But you have your standards of flavor, and you know it will get a little sweeter. The acid will be a little different. We don't know how it's going to hang, you know, or sit in the refrigerator for however many weeks it needs to before it goes to the store. So,
Is that right? Well, boy, the facial expressions actually say a lot.
it's tart. It's a little tartar than I like, but the flavor is really good. I don't.
Okay.
It's a flavor I really like for some reason.
No, that's cool. Because that's something that you don't usually tell me, is that tart is something that appeals to you.
No, and I'm usually not big on tart, but the flavor afterwards is so nice that, to me, that I can overcome the tartness. Especially
I got to agree.
the tart. It's a little tart, but the flavor afterwards is so great that you'll put up with the tartness in the very beginning.
So
it's a skin tart.
since our wine reference, okay, the back palate on this, it's all about the back palate. This is really good. So that's another interesting color. You know, that orange flesh. Yeah, but definitely really different than all the other varieties we've looked at so far. I mean, look at this. It is late September, and look at these trees. They're all set. You know, they've all got fruit on them. I mean, it's just such an amazing thing. So, wow, this is really...
This doesn't taste good, but it is crazy looking.
It is really unusual,
It
isn't it?
looks like a nectarine, but a plum, but a nectarine, but a plum. You can't really tell the difference. It's one of those in the middle.
You are so
Doesn't
right.
taste great, but not quite right.
Huh?
Not quite right.
Yeah, it's really overripe. Yeah, no flavor. I got it.
Not quite ripe either.
Nah, I don't want that one.
That one's a little green.
Is it green? No, that's literally green.
Mine tasted green.
Yeah, it's not the good, but
There are
that,
a lot of yellow ones that are really good.
Yeah.
Earlier in the summer. This is not it.
yeah, that looks like an egg, doesn't it? I can taste the potential in this, but I can also taste the fact that it's not going to gain that
No.
potential.
This
Okay.
isn't going to go anywhere.
No, it's not. But boy, oh boy, look at the set.
Yeah.
I mean, that's another.
And it's pretty.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's another edible ornamental. Wow. Look at that. Look at the flesh color.
Okay. Like if it got a little more ripe,
Yeah,
like
you
a
know
few
what?
more days, it would be really good.
This is really interesting. You know, this one is about the acid. It's not about the sugar. It's about the acid. So the acid is just really unique in this one. And boy, I love the color. That's not a flesh color you see common.
The white? No.
That's really unique.
It's really white.
Yeah.
Because usually they start turning red from the skin or the ripeness or...
That's really, really unique. What a cool variety. I think this one goes right up to the top too. This is really, and you know, it's not a bad looking piece of fruit because I think there's a lot of bloom.
I wonder.
You
There's
know.
a lot of bloom on it.
So, you know.
But it's never, I wonder why it's never been on the, maybe, you know what it is?
What?
It's probably not on the commercial list because it's a little soft.
Is that right?
And it won't pack out very well. So it would be like a home garden thing because it's got to go through the packing house, the cleaning process, and it's got to, and then if it bruises at all in the packing process, once you put it in the fridge, it just goes.
Yeah, no, I get it. Usually that happens up around the stem end
Yeah,
too.
because you could tell it's a little soft. If you feel these, they're a little soft.
Yeah, just when you said that, that's the first thing
You're
I
like,
did.
oh yeah, it's so pretty.
But that flesh color is just so unique.
You're gonna write the number down and tell Tom to be like, hey, ask her about this one.
Do it. No, write it down for me. Here we are, man. Here's a couple of those yellow. You know, has a yellow. Sure doesn't have the yellow influence of that one we were just looking at.
No.
That was so incredible as far as color, but you sure can't tell these aren't going to be ready.
No. This one will definitely not get much. You get a little pinker, but not much. Just tastes sweet.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Oh well.
everybody can be
Oh well. Yeah. Not everyone's a winner. That's pretty hard. Well, this one's pretty yellow.
Yeah.
See. Oh. Guess what? Fuzziness.
That's true.
This one has a fuzziness. Yeah, I don't know about this one though.
Me neither.
It's
I can see it.
Right, I can too. It's got good size. You know, the color is excellent, and the flavor. You know, you could make an argument for the flavor.
It probably would get a little more sweet too.
Yeah,
if the acid,
yeah.
But it's not high acid anyway.
Wow. Flavor's kind of mediocre, but
Not bad though. It's
Yeah,
better than the other one.
it's pretty. Yeah, it's definitely better than the other one.
Let's try. This one has string on it. That's usually a good sign.
String says somebody else has
Likes
the
it.
opinion that's good. Yeah.
It's good enough to be sent to other countries.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
I know this one, several people looked at it this week, even though it's way overripe, and decided they wanted it.
Is that right? Well, let's give that a shot, huh?
Yeah.
Guess what? This is bad. It's pretty intense. This one that I got, it's pretty. It's
So
pretty.
I have the one wrinkle.
It's one of those.
No, it does clearly hang forever.
Yeah. Well, it's got. I'll tell you what it's got. It's got that flavor grenade gene.
Ah,
You know, that
yeah.
really, really syrupy kind of flavor, which it's not my favorite, but I know it's a lot of people's favorite. You know what I mean?
It's good though. It's different.
Wow. It is. I think I'm almost getting to a point though where, you know, we've eaten so much fruit that it's starting now to, you know, kind of meld into one another.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
To me, they start tasting more and more distinct because, like, I've tasted all of them, and I can start tasting differences more.
The difference between being a subpar guy and a professional.
I don't know. You're pretty professional.
You know what? Yeah, that's
But you see why someone would want this, and then
Yes,
it
I do.
could sit. It could travel for 30 days,
Yes,
still be rock hard.
Yep.
The acid would mellow out a little.
that's
And it would be
definitely
amazing.
It's there. It's definitely there. Wow, that may be my favorite so far. Huh.
Well,
Guess what? You might want to tell Tom about that one. I would write down that number as well. You know what? We're at the end of the row, aren't we?
yeah.
What do you think?
A little different. No bad.
Whoa, that's really ripe. That might be overripe.
This time of year.
Yeah. It's not bad.
Oh, that's interesting.
This one is too.
Bite into that one and you'll know why. It's not the flavor that's different. The texture.
Really?
It's like, it's dense.
Yeah, it's almost like a prune.
It's so dense.
You're right. Not good. Not good.
Somebody liked it last year.
Did they really? Yeah.
I don't know who that was, but it wasn't me.
Well, if it gets a name, we'll warn people about it. What a great little stroll through one day, meaning a late season, September, October, and just all these wonderful varieties. I mean, it's almost like nothing stopped here at all.
No, we don't stop from, let's see, the end of April through the next couple weeks through mid-August, October.
Yeah, that's exciting. That's so exciting. Well, as always, thank you so much for your time, and it's so great to have this wonderful resource, and I'm sure glad I get an opportunity to walk through orchards with you occasionally.
Thanks for coming.
All right.